It's absolutely crazy to me to think that an arc that was supposed to be and started off as a training arc for Shin to become his best possible self, that way he'd be able to face the Order alongside Sakamoto, might actually end with Shin not coming back at all and just fighting Slur's gang from the shadows. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're gonna find some way to resolve this in the end with Shin returning to the Sakamoto store. I really don't believe he's resigning for a hot minute. But it is ironic how much resigning from his position shows his care and respect for Sakamoto, because Shin doesn't want to taint his family name, but also at the same time, the reason why he's breaking the family rules is to save and protect Sakamoto. We also get the big reveal as to how Atari's god hack ability works, and honestly, it's still broken even after the explanation, no matter what way you look at it. So last chapter, it was revealed to Tenq that Shin and Heisuke's lie was completely fabricated entirely, so he just started blasting without any care or hesitation whatsoever who got caught in the crossfire. Tenq even reflected a bullet at Heisuke and incapacitated him entirely for the short scuffle. Meanwhile, Atari the fortune teller used her great fortune to save Shin and somehow create him a fully loaded gun out of metal scraps in the ground? I don't know. I'm not gonna question that. But after they're able to escape, this whole new chapter revolves around Shin wrestling with the idea that someone like Tenq can just not be controlled or reasoned with. That's even more apparent with Shin's mental commands just straight up not working on him anymore. Now, it's never outright stated, but it can really be assumed that once Tenq is just in killing mode and he's locked in, fully bloodlusted, there's nothing that can penetrate his brain, hearing anything. His mind actually genuinely just goes blank. We saw a similar thing to Saul, one of the death row prisoners way back in the early stages of Sakamoto days. However, Shin was able to adapt to Saul. Actually, even doing so was able to level Shin up to a degree. This could be the same thing, but again, it's just a theory. Right now, Tenq being the creation, the perfected creation, I should say, of Alkamar Orphanage and Chairman Asaki's scheme to just make the most emotionless killer alive, he is definitely a step above some deranged war veteran. Atari confirms that the main reason she's helping Shin right now is because he is in fact her lucky item of the day, which should solidify his place as her knight in shining armor. I know we tried so hard to find any other person that it could be, but it seems Occam's razor strikes again. Atari's just upset he doesn't look like Gary Oldman, which I don't know what she sees in him of all people, but I think Shin should get a couple extra points than this guy. Atari needs to maintain full contact with Shin for whatever luck she has to work, because according to her, later on in the chapter, she actually reveals that her supernatural ability is just being able to call forth any future luck in her life into that present moment. Apparently, Atari says that all humans are born with a set amount of luck, which I assume is just randomly generated, because there's definitely a little bit of inequality going around here with those luck sand fragments, okay? And Atari is able to use up future luck, but conveniently, in this very moment, she's run out of all of it. Now, in the grand scheme of things, this does make sense. Atari didn't just start giving terrible predictions because she's aligned with Slur. It's just at the worst possible moment in time, she really just ran out of luck. She doesn't have enough left to justify spending it on different things that the JAA was asking her. So they locked her up. She's conserving the last of her luck for specific moments like this. Atari has been doing this fortune telling thing her whole life. It's how she made a name for herself, paid her bills, paid her rent. Her whole assassin career was based off of pulling this future luck into the present. So even if she was given an obscene amount more luck than everybody else in the world, she's just been using it recklessly up until this point. It makes sense that she's running low. And now that she's only got one good last fortune left in her, she's gonna do her best to save it for one last action, which she hasn't elaborated yet. She might not even know. It might just be something she notices in the moment to save Shin, Heisuke, escape the prison, defeat Tenq in general. It seems like this is a little bit of a flag that Atari might not be making it out. I'm inclined to believe her because her lack of luck is apparent the moment she stops touching Shin. Terrible events just start happening ASAP. A random flower pot, which I don't even know where it came from, fell on top of her head, and then she steps in a pile of 100 pieces of gum? Huh? And despite trying to hold on to Shin as much as possible, not only is he not cooperate with Atari at all, Tenq has finally found them. He bursts through a wall and just starts overwhelming them with no problems whatsoever. So to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how Shin plans on going forward after this chapter and killing Tenq. He's already getting his ass whooped. And the worst part of all of this, because it just keeps getting terribler and terribler, if that's even a word, I just put it in the dictionary, look it up, I promise you it's there. Tenq finds out from Atari that there is no possible way to save his friendship with Uzuki, specifically because the alternate identity within him, most likely Rion, is never going to accept Tenq with the crazy psychopath that he is. Honestly, makes absolute sense. Another W from beyond the grave for Rion Akao. Of all the people that would hate the idea of involving Sakamoto's family in this whole JAA takedown to the point of actually just slaughtering them, it would be Rion of all people. Uzuki has threatened Sakamoto before, mentioning that, oh, I think you have a daughter, but I think that was more of an empty threat than anything. But the sealing of the deal is laid behind Atari admitting to Tenq that she's out of luck and doesn't plan on using the rest of her luck to try and save and pull the strings of fate to put Tenq and Uzuki back together. Just making the fortune teller that Tenq came all this way for completely worthless to him. Before Tenq is able to kill Atari though, Shin is finally able to stop questioning himself and fully resolves to kill Tenq. Not only is Tenq planning on killing Hana and Aoi Sakamoto, but he's carelessly just strangling a defenseless girl the moment she has no more value to him. As Shin has been trying to convince Heisuke for the last couple of chapters about this, some people just exist that are incapable of change, but not only that, frankly, are just incapable of doing any good for society whatsoever. Especially a person who has been vehemently trained to oppose society and never question morality at all. We would always like to believe that with the proper guidance and environment, everyone can be rehabilitated. I mean, that's the whole point of prison, kind of, which is a great touch of symbolism on Yuto Suzuki's part, but people like Tenq, who exist solely to hurt others and nothing else, may just be a lost cause, and identifying those lost causes is an important executive decision to have. And despite Shin making it almost 200 chapters following the Sakamoto family rules and never killing a single person, even being a beacon of light to younger assassins and potentially have them change their ways as well, despite it all, Shin claims he's never changed from the beginning. Shin has always been an assassin through and through, trying to fit into a world that he doesn't belong in, which is why it's been so hard for Shin to grow alongside Sakamoto and be of use to him. And while this may seem more of like a regression of Shin's character, which it is, it definitely is, I have no doubt he's gonna snap out of this funk and someone might just steal the kill from him to keep his hands clean, or Atari might use that last bit of luck to change his mind in some way. Or I honestly might even agree that this may be a hard lesson to learn for the entire Sakamoto store and family. Because as we approach the penultimate climax and the potential endgame of the entire series, these final villains that we're going to be fighting up against might not be able to be talked down or changed. Someone like Uzuki, with multiple personalities berating him from the inside, and has been resolving to end the JAA forever, will probably never give that dream up. But I mean, hey, we also have the whole subplot line of Sakamoto potentially looking to buy out the JAA and turn it into a franchise of Sakamoto stores, which would be very interesting to see and might be the change that Uzuki is looking for. Could that be the shake of hands at the end of the series that we reach? Who knows? Shin's resignation from the Sakamoto store and vowing to kill Tenq here will surely lead to the final steps that Shin needs to take before finally achieving order level power, whether he finishes the series by Sakamoto's side or not. Based off the power gap between these two characters, I'm not sure what Shin looks to pull, but that next level up is probably what will push him past the brink and get him that W over Tenq, or Atari uses her last bit of luck. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think Shin's actually done for good? This is his final battle and final arc, and he's going to become the shadow warrior who helps us from the background, or just isn't a main part of the core Sakamoto gang anymore? I highly doubt it, but again, hit me in the comments, hit that like button as well if you enjoyed the video and you made it all the way to the end. I sincerely appreciate you. But most importantly, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any future Sakamoto Days reviews, videos, or any other series that you may read weekly or monthly. And also, don't forget I do have my primary channel that I stream on and post other long-form video essay type content that you may enjoy. So check it out if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.